Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia. That's my buddy Snark. This is Starting 11, our Premier League recap show. And there's some stuff to talk about this week.
Yeah, not, I don't think much surprising stuff, but it was some fun, I'll say fun results. Especially
a bit of chaotic.
Yeah, fun results for these guys.
Chelsea had a good result.
Things turned up blue this week, which is very nice. Of course, it's only 16 matches into the season, so who the hell knows what's going to happen now? But it feels good for a week just to be this close when we're still the youngest squad in the league.
Okay. I know that feeling because that's how I felt about Arsenal when we went from like 8th up to 2nd. So I totally understand that feeling.
Well, hopefully we can hold on to that feeling a little longer. But let's see.
Yeah.
Because Liverpool might be in that thing I've been talking about before too. Now, we're gonna start the week. Why don't we start at St. James Park?
Okay.
Because why not? It's there's a bunch of goals by one team. Maggie's popping Ruud van Nistelrooy's managerial bubble. I guess the new manager bounce ended at St. James Park. It's Jacob Murphy getting the first one 30 minutes in. Top of the box. It was a real nice assist by Anthony Gordon to find him there. All kinds of space too. I don't know what I guess the defenders are ball watching or something like that. Anyways, that's one going down low to in. Bruno Guimaraes. Just a second. Guimaraes on the people's radar. I think he's on City's radar for some reason. I don't think this is the way they go. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why. If they do go for him, great. Because I don't think he's going to help. Whatever they do. But whatever. That's fine. That's less than 2 minutes after the half kicked off. Nice cross by Lewis Hall there, heading it over to him. Then 4 minutes later, it's just moments after. It's Anthony Gordon, so you know he's going to try and flop at some point. Mm-hmm. But the ref doesn't call it or whatever. He lets it go. Anyways, Alexander Isak heads in a ball that kind of gets deflected. It comes to him. Now I'm saying, why didn't the refs blow the whistle just for the dive? They knew it was a dive.
Yeah.
They watched him. They know it's not a penalty, so it has to be dive. Why would you let that play go on? It really doesn't matter. Leicester were terrible in this match, and there was no way, even if they got with the goal taken off the board, there's no way they were coming back. I can't remember if they even had a shot on target. They had one shot on target. And I believe it was a pretty weak one at that near the end of the game. Anyways, Jacob Murphy gets the second goal. That's an hour into the match. Yeah, Leicester was just one shot on target. So there you are. They play a half decent squad and fall to pieces. But and then it's Newcastle. I have to keep reminding myself. They get half decent results. I don't know if they're a half decent squad. They got good players.
Yeah. There's a difference between the results that they're getting and how good they actually are, I think.
I think Christmas is coming, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Also the January window. So I think maybe if it's that time, maybe you can make your wish list and stuff like that. I know Arsenal needs a striker. I think we talked about this just before coming on the air too. Mm-hmm. How good do you think Alexander Isak looks in your shirt?
I think it'd look really good. I don't think we're going to get him, though. I don't think Newcastle will sell.
I don't know. I think they sell for the right price. I think that price is astronomical, though. And maybe with it just being January, they have to deal with him without him being there quite a bit, though. They've had Anthony Gordon play up in that role at times and stuff like that, too. And they could, with the money, they can go get a striker if they really wanted to. But and do they really need the money? It's Newcastle. Remember who owns them. So who knows? We'll see. Anyways, a win for Newcastle. Fine. Leicester lose, but there's some bad teams at the bottom, so maybe they're still okay. They can lose the occasional match to Newcastle. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of bad teams at the bottom, do you like how that segue worked?
That worked very well.
I call that a natural segue because I usually have no idea what I'm talking about. Now, Wolves and Ipswich, the battle for the bottom here. Wolves coming in with a new captain, Adelia. Mario Lemina dropping the armband. He wasn't taken from him. He dropped it after he got into it with Jared Bowen, if you remember last week after the whistle. Do you remember or saw the pictures of him going after his own coach, though? He goes after Sean Derry after the. What are you doing? He's just going mad. He went mad. Anyways, he said, all right, enough of this. And plus, who wants to be the captain of the ship anyways? You know what I mean?
I don't think anyone wants to be the captain of Wolves right now.
Tough luck for Nelson Semedo because he goes onto the field wearing the armband. Oh, boy.
Somebody had to do it.
I guess so. Now, Gary O'Neil leading the Wolves after getting the old backing of the board. You know, the kiss of death, the kiss.
Yeah, that didn't last long, did it?
No. It's just 16 minutes in. Amari Hutchinson, Tractor Boys has a real good chance stopped. Rebound comes out to Connor Chaplin. His shot goes off Tony Gomez. And then Matt Doherty for the own goal 15 minutes in. It's the most Wolves goal ever. You score on yourself with a double deflection. Unreal. Stays that way until the 72nd. And the only half-decent piece, it seems, left in Wolverhampton, Matheus Cunha slashes into the box. Chow Gidesh, I can never get his name right. One day I'll get it. He finds him. Gets that left boot onto it. It goes left-sided short into the net. Wolves have been really quiet up to that point. Like, you'd figure they need this win. They need this win. Well, more than Ipswich. Let's say that. They needed it more than Ipswich. And just had nothing until the last, 10 or 15 minutes of the match. So Strand Larson gets a nice chance after this. He just puts it wide. There's another one late on by Cunha. Gets a couple of good chances. Gets his own rebound on one. Puts it over the net, which is unfortunate. They worked 3 minutes of extra time in this, Adelia. And as the clock struck 93, Jack Clark taking a corner. It's met by Jack Taylor. He scores his first Premier League goal to win the match for Ipswich to take all 3 points at the Molineux. They got booed off the field in the first half. It was not great.
Not great.
So after all the shenanigans that happened last week with Lamina, Ryan Knight-Nuri goes and gets a second yellow after the final whistle too.
Yeah.
He's not the only one who will get that this week. But again, you'd think with the Wolves guys would be told, like, come on. And it's just, there is a lack of composure there. It's probably systematic. So Gary O'Neil has to pay the price for this. He's let go. News has come out that Victor Pereira is appointed as the new manager. You know how many places he's coached in England? None. But he coached in Portugal and he won.
I was going to say he's got to be Portuguese.
Yeah, he's won the
Portuguese club.
He won the Portuguese title a couple times with Porto. I know another Portuguese guy that started out that way too. Of course, that other guy won the Champions League with Porto, though. And he's special, if you know what I mean. Now, so Wolves will have a manager in place, I guess, by this coming weekend. I don't know if he's actually going to take the field with them, but they went for this guy quick. The closest that Pereira ever got to English football is he was the runner-up to Lamps when he got hired in Everton, supposedly.
I mean, that's a choice.
Yeah. Well, I think, Everton, you could have flipped a coin on that one, maybe. Anyways, that's it for that. Poor Gary O'Neil. These guys just did nothing. They lose, Max Kilman and stuff like that before the season. They don't replace them with anybody. I don't know what they want from this guy. He'll land on his feet. He'll find a place.
He will,
to coach. He's a good coach. Okay. Moving on. Arsenal, Everton. Now, we don't usually talk about scoreless matches. So let's move on.
No, let's not. Look, there's really nothing to say about the match itself. I told you my only note coming out of this match is Arsenal need a striker in January. We can't wait till the summer. We need one in January.
Do you think you guys make the push to beat United for Georgis?
I don't know.
Well,
I think they want
United
Isak.
might be setting up their space. United
Yeah,
might be setting up their space. We'll talk about that.
yeah. I think they want Isak. I don't know if they'll pay for Isak.
Yeah.
Gyökeres is banging in the goals in Portugal, but it's Portugal. You can't tell how that's going to translate to the Premier League at all.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't know who else is out there that they're able to go get. Like, you got to consider financial fair play into all of this and keeping within the rules, so you don't
have to sell.
go
You'd have
over.
to sell some people, no matter who you want.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to do this in January, but they need to figure out a way to do it in January.
Victor Osimhen, of course, a possibility as well, but they want all kinds of money for him in Italy, and I don't know if his transfer over to the Saudi League can actually be called back from it. I can't remember. He's
not in the Saudi League. He's in Turkey.
Oh, sorry, the Turkish. Yeah, in Turkey.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if they can call him back from that loan because it's a season-long loan. So, there are options out there. I just don't know which one Arsenal would try to trigger, and I don't know if they'd actually be able to do it in January. But they need to do something.
Maybe if get rid of a couple of guys. Maybe on your back line, could probably find some buyers for a couple of guys on your back line. Just saying. I don't know if you're going to do that.
Probably, but I don't know that we're going to do that because...
Cut off your nose to spite your face. Isn't that what the old saying is? All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of people's noses who should get cut off. Just kidding. Liverpool and Fulham are playing. So, Liverpool at home. Like I say, I think they're home every week. Doesn't matter. Well rested after having last week's match called off. What was that Storm's name? Dara. Something. Yeah. A little sluggish out of the gate, I think is fair to say in this match. 11 minutes in, and Tony Robinson has a cross come from outside the box. Found by Andreas Pereira on the far post. Puts it in off of Andy Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Robertson did not have a great 20 minutes of this match.
No, he did not.
Yeah, 6 minutes after this, he pulls down Harry Wilson with a clear path to goal. A lot of people he gets red carded. It gets confirmed eventually. If that didn't get confirmed, how happy would you be with the referee? Quite happy?
I would have been so angry if they didn't confirm that. That had to be a red card. It had to be.
There's the only. I remember them saying on the broadcast, this is going to be that. The kick was awful. It was nowhere near the ball, straight to his shin, and he had a clear path to goal. The guy that's on the other side of the crease isn't getting there before the shot comes off. What else do you want to call it?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Anyways, right call was made and upheld.
The right call was made, but the fact that whole process took as long as it did is a bit ridiculous.
Bananas. So Fulham up a goal and a man into the break, but only 2 minutes after that, fantastic cross by Mo Salah. I don't know how else to say it. Just puts it in the perfect spot for Cody Gakpo to run to it and dive. Puts his head to it. 10-man Liverpool draw even. That's third goal this year, Cody Gakpo. I always think of him as scoring more, and then I look back and I see he scores 8 goals, 7 goals.
Yeah, you'd think he'd score more goals as a winger.
Yep, no, he doesn't get too many. Anyways, no one's going to cry for Cody Gakpo. So, 76 minutes now, and Tony Robinson, once again, with the ball. He fights off Gerald Kwanzaa in the box, puts the ball into the feet of Rodrigo Muniz. I don't know, in an event, and it goes into the net. I don't think Muniz kicks this, right?
I don't think he kicks it. I think it hits his foot, and then...
I think this ball just had no choice but to go into the net off of Muniz because, it was a fantastic pass by Robinson. But, it was awkward finish. But he gets credit for the goals. So Rodrigo Muniz with the potential winner. But Fulham decide to, why should we press anymore? We've got a 1-goal lead. This is Liverpool. They're not gonna.
Terrible idea at Anfield. Of
They're
all
not gonna fall
places,
back.
terrible idea at Anfield.
6 minutes before the goal, the Muniz goal, they brought on Nunez to try and find something. And then after, a couple minutes after the goal, they bring on Diogo Jota and Harvey Elliott. They're looking for something, and the pitch swings again, and it's all Liverpool at the end. They press and eventually rewarded by Jota. 2 great touches. The first touch to get it over, the second touch to settle it down. And he puts it into the net. A nice low shot. So hard for the keepers to get to it. He levels it. Now, Liverpool bugged me. All right. And anybody who cries, anything against Liverpool, Liverpool get too many calls. They get too many calls. There's just, and this is a nothing thing. All right. It's just one of the things that always bugs me about Liverpool. It's late on into extra time, maybe a minute or so left. Fulham plays up. It goes off a Liverpool player. The ball's coming up around the line. A Fulham player is around. He puts his foot over the ball. The ball goes out. The side judge correctly says Fulham throw. But Virgil van Dijk whines and cries so much that the referee comes over and reverses the call. That is Liverpool. This is why we hate Liverpool. This is garbage. This is garbage. Yeah. But Fulham, of all teams.
Fulham are doing pretty well this season.
I don't like it. I can tell you that. I do like that they keep Liverpool to just 1 point.
Yes.
Meaning that they are only 5 points ahead of Chelsea. Now, of course, there's a game in hand, but I'm not talking about that. 5, because they could easily lose, to Everton. But yeah, good news for us. But also, that's 2 draws in a row now for Liverpool. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is the thing. I keep saying something's gonna change with Liverpool. Is this the change? Am I a witch? We'll find out as we go into January. Next, Forest and Villa. And what a finish to this match. There's a couple of matches this week. Great finishes. This one, amazing. Terrible first half. There's 0 shots on target in the entire first half by either team. But Villa, a little up in arms. I don't know if you saw this, but Morgan Rogers saying he was taken down in the box by, is it Elliot Anderson, I think. Elliot Anderson, they're in the box fighting. Rogers has his arm out. Looks like Anderson puts his hand on his wrist. And, of course, Morgan Rogers just drops to the ground. He wants a penalty. They're not going to get it. VAR decides not to step in. Until this point, Rogers had hold of Elliot Anderson's shirt the entire time. The ref was just letting things go. That's why he didn't call anything. It's like, I've let too much go for you. And it was the slightest of touches. He drops down. Of course, Unai Emery after the match he says, I don't like ever calling out the referees or the VAR, but this was an obvious penalty that they missed. It's like, I don't think it was.
No, it's not.
I think relax, Unai. Anyways, this match could be famous because of something that happens 60th minute. Emi Martinez with an all-timer of a save.
This save was phenomenal.
Off of Nicolas Dominguez in tight, the header going straight down. His back to it almost. Reaches down to plant the ball on the line before it gets kicked out by his teammate for the corner.
If that's not save of the season so far, I don't know what is.
I think that's easily the save of the season. It's going to be one of those saves they're going to talk about. They're going to talk about it much more than they're going to talk about the next thing we'll talk about. Well, first, I guess we should mention John Duran is the one who actually gets the breakthrough. John Duran starting again over Ollie Watkins. I'm not sure if Watkins picked up a knock in training or something like this, but this is now 2 of the last 3 matches Duran has started for Villa. But anyways, he heads in a John McGinn pass to make it 1-0. Forest get it back in the 87th minute. Now, Morgan Gibb White crosses it into the area. It's met by Nikola Milenkovic. Martinez gets it. He gets the ball. Now, I don't know if it goes through him somehow. He hits it. It's going to go in. To me, you look at the instant replay, it looks like he gets it, holds it, turns, and drops it into his own net.
It did look like that, yeah.
They say, the good Lord giveth, the good Lord taketh away, because that was awful. And then, third extra minute, Elliot Anderson's pass, smashed by Anthony Elanga, goes 5-hole on Martinez. Not a great finish. He was into his own hype there. He was replaying that one save back and forth and forgot, he still had 30-something minutes of football to play. Anyways, that's the winner. Anthony Elanga with the winner. You don't hear about his name much since going from Everton, but what are you going to do? Forest now.
Wasn't he United?
Oh, sorry. Is it what Anthony? Oh, maybe it was. Who am I thinking? Oh, I'm thinking
Anthony Elanga was at United.
Yes. Who's that? Was it full? I can't remember. Anyways, moving on. Forest up to 4th. For God's sakes, they're hanging around.
Yeah. Forest are doing well this year too. Like
craziness.
They might sneak into a European place at this rate by the end of the season.
I think. Well, just there's so many spaces now.
Yeah.
I think there's a very good chance they do that. But a team that was doing well, a team that was it recently was in 3rd place. Brighton hosting Crystal Palace, and a bit of a. You could say a bit of a shocker in this one, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
27 minutes in, Ismail Sarr's corner, poorly, I would say, dealt with. The ball just for some reason lying around. Trevoh Chalobah rushes up, roofs the thing. I have no idea why they went to VAR for this. What were they looking for? It's like maybe they were thinking pushing and shoving. It can't be outside. It was a corner.
I was like, there's nothing to be offside here. Like, I didn't know what they were looking at.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Foul on someone, it had to be, but...
So the headline of the day, Palace has scored a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And they keep the pressure up. They decide, guys, if we try hard, we can score more than one goal. So they keep it up. 6 minutes later, it's Sarr hitting it. It's a really fantastic Tyreek Mitchell cross. Sarr gets his brace in the 82nd minute now, and I thought you'd like that. Eddie Nketiah is the one who has that pass to him. I don't know what the Seagull defense is doing here, but they are flat-footed. They were caught ball watching, possibly not looking down to see if Sarr was in the area. Anyways, he takes it. He has all kinds of space, and I think the shot he chooses is pretty tight to the keeper, considering all the space that was there, but it goes through. 3-0, but they're not finished scoring. Dean Henderson has had a great game in this. He's made some fantastic saves. He's got the clean sheet, but it gets sullied because Maxime Lacroix tries to deal with a corner by clearing it off of Margay.
Yeah.
Yet another own goal happening, but that's all the scoring. And Ollie Glasner has his club on a 5-game unbeaten streak somehow. They're 15th. You want to talk somehow? They're 15th spot.
I mean, the teams below them are just so bad that I can understand them being in 15th. But Palace scored 3 goals in this game. Good for them.
Technically 4.
Technically 4.
Yeah,
but
they got a thirst for it. They got a thirst for it. They don't care what net they're going in anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Brighton has dropped down to 9th.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Brighton.
Great start. And it's leveling off. I think people are maybe figuring them out. Or they're getting tired. Who knows? But yeah, you don't ever hear from guys like Matoma and stuff like that anymore. So it's odd. They're having an odd season.
They are.
Next, we're gonna go to St. Mary's Stadium, and we're not going to talk much about this game because I don't think we have to.
No.
Here's the deal. you can be on pace to possibly be the worst Premier League club ever. I'm pretty sure Derby is still the worst of all time. I think they had 11 points. Saints are at 5 through 16 games. So actually they're on pace for like 13 points maybe if they kept everything up. But if there wouldn't have been a problem. They loved their manager. They loved Russell Martin. They took him like that big win over Leeds to take him from the championship to the Premier League famous. You can't give up 5 goals to Spurs at home and keep your job. I think that's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
He's let go immediately following the game. Well, I say immediately. I think they waited for morning.
Yeah.
They wait till morning to announce it. Now he's just someone has to take the fall. Their inability to sign players. Like, what's the top player they signed? Ben Brereton Diaz.
Yeah.
Is that the top guy?
They didn't sign anybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Another problem with Russell Martin is he has a great style for the championship where he wants to just play out from the back, have everybody run to the ball instead of building up. It doesn't work. For some reason, the owners wanted them to play more like Manchester City. I'm like, sure they do. Why wouldn't they?
I mean, I'm sure lots of the lower teams want them to play more like Man City, but
all they need to do
work in Southampton.
All they need to do is set up a bunch of shell companies and give deferred payments to people under the table. That's all they have to do to make it. Anyways, no word on.
No word on a new manager yet.
No word on the next manager, the next victim.
Who is gonna want this job?
You have to look now at a former player or a guy on the bench or stuff like that. I don't think they can outside hire. There's no way they can. Yeah, they're gonna need a caretaker manager just to get them through the thing. They'll hire a good coach for the championship. Yeah, I don't know who goes in. Steve Cooper could go in the championship and probably be good for them.
Gary O'Neil? He's got a...
I think Gary O'Neil is a better coach than championship. I think he finds a job.
I agree. But I agree.
You gotta work somewhere, though.
Did look it up and confirmed the lowest total, 11 points by Derby in the 2007-2008 season.
Yeah, they weren't good.
Can Southampton get 6 more points this year?
It's going to be tough. And they have to do it with a rudderless ship. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, they put themselves in a spot, which, no one's, I guess, except for the people in Southampton, no one's going to go to bed crying for the Saints.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Southampton this year, 1 win, 2 draws, 13 losses.
It's not sharp. It's not sharp. Another team that wasn't sharp, but were effective enough was Chelsea, and they took on Brentford. It was a West London derby. Chelsea had all kinds of chances in the first half. They just couldn't finish. Noni Madueke can be frustrating to me, I think, to say the least. Sometimes he puts his head down to shoot when he should be looking across. And because there's one great chance he had, he could have put it into Nicholas Jackson, who was just sitting on the spot, waiting for the ball. Couldn't get it to him. But Nicholas Jackson also had a clear open net, and he put it 15 feet over. So this is why people get so frustrated with Nicholas Jackson. It's not that he, doesn't score. There was an article earlier last week. Is Nicholas Jackson the next Didier Drogba for Chelsea? It's like, what?
Where are they seeing that?
Yeah, he had 8 goals going into this match, but Chelsea were the better team in the first half.
Mm-hmm. Our friend Ferris is chiming in the chat saying Nani is so annoying to watch because you see the talent and the pace.
It's there, and it gets into his head, and he's he gets frustrated, he gets angry a lot. He gets selfish at times. Yeah, for a winger, not incredible.
Ferris asking if you said that about Nico.
That he's the next Drogba? Why would I say that? No. No. Drogba was just a force of nature. What are you gonna do? Oh yeah. So I didn't even mention that. So it's Sky Sports that had this poll up, the greatest forward in Premier League history. This happens to go to a guy I think that works for them. Ridiculous. Thierry Henry.
Who won?
Thierry Henry gets it.
I mean, I can't argue with that.
I was
Sure
I was gonna say
though.
I was waiting to see your faces. Like, oh, he had a pretty good year once. Now
he had a pretty good several years. Thank you. So
all right.
Fair's saying Nani is Rafa Leao. He hates watching Rafa Leao.
Yeah. Like Noni scores a hat trick and looks great, then he'll fall asleep. And like I prefer Neto on his side. If we can get Neto and Sancho at the same time going, I think we're pretty sharp. But Neto had to play in Kazakhstan, of all places, on Thursday, so there's no way he was starting. Anyways, moving on. To the goal. A little surprised who scores this one. It's a nice header, too, and a great pass by Nani. Mark Cucurella. Getting to the ball.
I can't remember Mark Cucurella scoring a goal ever. Like, not at Chelsea, not at Brighton. I can't remember it.
Yeah, he's not one you think of when it comes to goals. That's his second this year, so he's putting it together. But always in the news, Mark Cucurella, if it's last week, with the boots incident and falling down a couple times, leading the goals, and the week before that, getting his hair, or the game before that, getting his hair tugged for the, to get the guy sent off. And there's always something with Mark. Life's an adventure. There's
always something with Mark Cucurella.
Life's an adventure with Mark Cucurella. That could be the new television show I'm producing, adventure show. Now,
Ferret's still chiming in, saying TT is the greatest. I will only accept Rooney over TT, but only if you tell I can't say TT.
Rooney.
Wayne Rooney, the greatest in Premier League history? Not sure I'd go with that.
I'm pretty sure he had a teammate that was better than him. Anyways, yeah. Now, I did slander Nico Jackson a little bit. He does get Chelsea's second goal. A nice one, too, and hard shot. It comes off like
it was a good goal.
Rocket from outside the box. Those are the kind of things you like to see. Put your head down, put the ball as hard as you can't stop it. Okay, but so weak defending going on. This is at the 80th minute. Jackson scores. 90th minute, Brian Mbeumo. There's just a terrible attempt at a tackle by Toyson Adarabioyo, giving him way too much space. He'll find an area to put it past Sanchez. So it's a bit of a nervy finish for me for the last 8 minutes. But Chelsea hold on. Here's the thing. Chelsea, of course, everyone talks about this incredible amount of yellow cards and stuff that they get. There were no cards issued until extra time.
Yeah. I saw that.
Cucurella gets one. It's not a great tackle, a yellow card, fine. And then I can't remember who gets it for the Bees. And then at the end of the match, him and is it Vitaly Janelt that he gets in with?
I don't remember.
Yeah, or it could be Kevin Schade. I can't remember. Anyways, Cucurella is kind of behind the official when they're arguing and stuff like that. He gets pushed, and then he gives a slap back. He gets a second yellow card for that. Ridiculous. I think people are a little. I think the referees were given a heads up about the shenanigans that went on with Wolves and West Ham the week before. Said we're looking for this stuff. So Chelsea's had a couple injuries now in the back line, and now they're going to be without Marc Cucurella for a match against Everton. So if you're going to lose the Cucurella for a match, this is one. See what Renato.
Probably one of the more favorable matches to lose him against.
Let's see what Renato Vega can do in that spot, because there's no way that Ben Chilwell's going to play for this club, which is unfortunate for him. But
Ferris says Paul Scholes is better.
That's the player you went for. Okay. Now, all right. So like I said, Chelsea in second spot. You know what I mean? There's a chance that we can be in first spot next week. I don't, I don't think if we do, it won't be for long.
It's going to happen, but
Enzo Maresca is doing his best to say we're not in a title race for whatever reason, even though they're in second spot right now. Whatever.
It's a really weird stance from him on that.
There is 22 games yet to go, and they're the youngest side in the Premier League. So I guess they're just trying to temper the pressure on them somehow.
Yeah, take the pressure off.
Yeah. Okay. A couple of matches to go here because I don't want to talk about Chelsea for too much because it's
you
nice.
You can talk about Chelsea for an hour.
Yeah, it's the way I talk myself to sleep. It's just like remembering goals and stuff like that. Now, we're going to move on. There's another derby, maybe a more important derby, just for the entertainment-wise.
Yeah.
Now, United and City are going to face off at the Etihad. Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho are told to stay home. They weren't even listed on the squad.
That was interesting.
That's Amram trying to put his stamp on the club after a month. All right. Yeah. What is Rash? Well, I think Rashford got the first goal for you there, pal. And then Garnacho. Who gives crap about Garnacho? I mean, this is one of the worst signings in the league. Oh, I didn't even talk about the other one. Maybe Misha Mudryk was not a great signing.
Talk about that real quick.
Mandalone, is that what they say that they find?
Meldonium, I think it was.
Yeah, Meldonium.
I only know what Meldonium is because I think it's the same thing that Maria Sharapova got banned for on the tennis tours back when she was playing.
I think they said it's like some kind of a something they give to pregnant ladies or something like that. Anyways, what it does is it just gives you the ability to exercise more. And Mudryk is adamant this isn't him. Like, this has to be a mistake. He doesn't know how it got into a system. I'll say, well, who knows? Who knows? The ban could be anything. The ban could be. It could be a month, could be 4 months, could be if they wanted 4 years. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near this thing like that. But
the last doping case I can remember in football with Paul Pogba, who got 4 years, then reduced down to 18 months. So who knows?
I don't think this is on the level of Paul Pogba, but it's such a weird thing too. Like, how's the chances of this is just, like a trace amount or whatever. How do they find this? This isn't something like, I'm sure you can't get it in a cough syrup. You know what I mean? Those are the kind of things that
that's the thing. Like a lot of things when this happens in tennis is they find tainted supplements. But like, why would this be in a supplement?
Yeah.
Like, so there's lots of questions. Ferris still talking in the chat saying,
good.
Fine, Robert, CR7.
Yeah, he's better.
Rashford is done at United. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, the only question I have is, can they get rid of him in January? I
don't think they can. Garnacho's brother is the problem, LOL.
There's a few problems, maybe. There could be more than one.
Then he says, how do you take PEDs and still suck? That has to be disheartening.
Yeah, that poor guy. I always wonder if he would have been better off going to Arsenal, just because, you have another Ukrainian there to help, like a language barrier. There's a few things or whatever. We'll see. Poor Misha. Anyways, he never played. He hadn't played in a few weeks. Anyways, not even in the what is the vaunted. I can't even remember what the hell tournament we're going to win this year is called, but it's the most important one.
Europa Conference League.
Europa Conference League, the most important European trophy. Chelsea in line to take it, hopefully. Now, back to the City United match. City, again, circling the bowl of late, but they get on the board first. 36 minutes in, and it's exactly who you'd think would get that first goal. Jasko Gvardiol.
He pops up on corners sometimes and scores some goals for them, so that's not really super surprising.
No, and this is from a corner. It's not due to the corner, though. The corner comes in short, and then goes to KDB. His cross goes off a boot and just comes out weird. So it's a slow looping thing that he heads the hell out of into the net, and he heads it like a The ball owed him money. So City take the lead, but they take it in through halftime. Now the clock's turning after 70 minutes. 73rd minute, Bruno Fernandes sent in alone. He beats Ederson and puts the ball wide.
I mean,
across the face of goal.
If that doesn't explain Bruno Fernandes, I don't know what does.
Ridiculous. Anyways, it was a nice pass by Højlund. Let's give him that.
It was.
Then, in the 86th minute, Mateus Nunes. What did Pep say about Mateus Nunes? One of the best footballers in the world. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah, world class Mateus Nunes.
Yes, world class back pass towards his own net from the goddamn sidelines, taken easily by Amad Diallo. Takes it into City's box. Ederson was out of position.
He was.
But it takes so long. Amad takes so long that Ederson gets back into position. Okay, so it's fine. So the play stopped. But here comes Nunes getting back into it and just runs him over for the penalty.
I mean, Pep must have wanted to kill him.
Maybe one of the worst 40 seconds of football anyone's played this year.
It was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. Anyways, of course, they're going to put Bruno on the spot for this, and he makes up for his earlier miss. He levels it, and it's going to be a 1-1 late draw. Of course, City is going to City this year. But wait a second. Hold on a second. Lisandro Martinez remembered that even though the clock struck 90, he could still play football. And he puts this long searching pass in. And once again found by Amad, and an incredible first touch. He gets it over Ederson. He puts it towards the net. How does this thing go in?
I don't know.
Gvardiol's there. I don't know if it goes between his legs or if he runs past the ball and it goes behind him and in. But it is bananas. Somehow United come back from losing 86 minutes into this game to take 3 points away from City. And if it wasn't United, I'd be more happy about the result.
Same. City's continuing struggles are very amusing to me. Karma has finally bit them in the ass.
Nice.
But I don't like that United won this game. Like, no. It's United. I like United when they're not winning games. I understand that Amorim has a big job on his hand because a lot of those players are just useless. Awful. But if he can get them uselessly playing together and to form them into something, they might actually make Europe this year. So we'll see.
All they need is people to fall apart like that in the last 5 minutes all the time.
They do. Yeah.
I'm sure it'll happen every single week for these guys.
It will not, but United, jerks. I don't want United to improve. I would.
I'm happy with them in the bottom half of the top 10. I think it's so fun. I'd like to, at the end of the year, I don't even care how Chelsea does, but if United don't make top 10, I'm gonna get a poster made of the standings.
The number of United fans that used to troll us on Twitter when we were finishing 8th, I will have a lot of fun watching them cry for not making the top 10.
Yep. And they know this is all their own faults, probably too. Okay. Last match, Bournemouth and West Ham.
I mean, I watched this match and there was nothing until there was 10 minutes to go, and then everything happened and then the match was over.
Yeah, everything happens late. One thing I'll say is Lucas Fabianski had a real good game.
He did.
For West Ham. I think he makes 8 saves in the match. The man of the match, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure he was named it. Anyways, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I believe this, I can't remember what time. I didn't even write the time down. Aaron Wan-Bissaka late has a cross go into the box. Now, the VAR takes a look at this thing because Tyler Adams' hand is up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the ball grazes his hand somehow. You never really see it his hand move or anything. You can see the ball kind of something weird though. It's almost like the ball was in the hand's gravity. and change path or whatever. So I said, well, we can't explain why the ball just did that, so it's got to be a handball.
Yeah.
So a guy who deserves to play each and every week gets to step onto the spot. Lucas Paqueta.
Oh my God, I don't understand how he's not been suspended yet. I really don't. It's baffling.
I don't know. Yeah. It's because he plays for West Ham. I'm sure of it. Like, if he played for Brentford, like it's another London town or London club or whatever, just smaller, the same kind of problems, I'm sure he would have been suspended by now. They would have acted fast, you know what I mean? Yeah, just ask Ivan Toney. Now, and we also don't know how bad it is, but we know that there's certainly he's certainly the receipts kind of add up in this one about him dropping or whatever to help his buddies. Now, the drama isn't done in the game because, Bournemouth had the better of the chances. West Ham was pretty quiet throughout. So they get one last chance here with 3 minutes left. Anish Unal with the free kick, and he has an absolute rocket going to the top corner.
Oh, it's phenomenal goal.
About 22 yards out, about 4 or 5 yards out from the D and stuff like that. So it's fantastic goal. Share points that they probably should have had 3 or whatever. So they'll take the one besides nothing, that's for sure. So good for them. Bournemouth that's up to 6. The hell is this? What topsy-turvy crazy world is this?
The table is very interesting this year so far. Like teams in places where you would not think these teams would be. So
Hammers in 14th spot also warms my heart. My coalish heart. Speaking of Christmas, so there you go. Got a heart of coal for Christmas, and it smiles brightly because of where West Ham is. All right, that's it.
Your heart grew 3 sizes. You were a Grinch, but then you saw where West Ham was in the table, and now
it hardened it. Just made it evil larger. Okay, let's do some predictions. Last week we were the two of us.
We were terrible last week.
The two of us, not great. Let's say that. Now, Ferris, of course.
Ferris somehow is doing better than us on these predictions every week. How is that happening?
He's got a guy on the inside. That's what I'm saying. A witch. So, Ferris again with 5. I managed to get 4 somehow, which is, I appreciated that. I don't think you did as well. But you're still beating me.
I didn't.
You're still beating me. Overall, and we're all chasing Ferris. Ferris down 7, or Ferris is up 7 games on me, which means all he has to do is forget 3 or 4 Saturdays, and I might have a chance of catching up, not overtaking him either. Now, it's going to be hard to do that this week.
I'm still 3 ahead of you, so that's all that matters.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know how that will change for a while. Now, Aston Villa is going to lead things off, taking on City, and this is a big match for both clubs.
I'm going Villa.
I think Villa at home is the way to go. Even though they blew one late. City blows one late. Let's see who can blow this one late. All right, next. Brentford. This is another interesting match. Wow, 2 matches right at the top. Brentford and Forest.
I'm going draw.
Smart. Do I think Brentford can win? I think Brentford's going to beat them. I'm going to take Brentford in that one. Next. Hey, get back here. Ipswich Town against Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm going to take Newcastle as well. I think the Tractor Boy's going to beat anybody. Who knows? Besides Wolves. West Ham and Brighton. Brighton need to bounce back because they have not been sharp.
Yeah, Brighton.
Brighton should win at London Stadium. I agree. Crystal Palace and Arsenal, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a draw, right?
Arsenal.
Arsenal. All right, I'm going to pick Arsenal as well. You convinced me. Next match. Everton at home to Chelsea. Chelsea's last visit to Old Goodison Park.
Chelsea.
Probably. Chelsea, until they say, with a couple weeks left, oh, we're going to need another year. Whatever. Fulham's at home to Southampton and they could probably dress 9 guys.
Yeah, Fulham will win this.
Yeah, they should win this easily at the Cottage. Leicester and Wolves. Oh,
I'm going Leicester.
They may have the new manager bump.
They might, but I'm going Leicester.
Yeah, this is the match they'd have to do it. You can't trust Wolves. You can't. I'm gonna take Leicester.
You can't trust them at all.
Nope. 2 interesting matches to finish out the week too. Manchester United and Bournemouth.
I'm going United at home.
Okay, I'm gonna take a draw in this one.
Okay.
And to finish things off, I need those no good rotten Spurs to get a result versus Liverpool, and it's at their urinal that they call stadium.
I'm still going Liverpool.
Liverpool. Do I end the week with 2 draws and hope for chaos? I think I'm gonna. There we go. I got 2 draws. And this is why, guys, I never win the weeks, and I'm 7 and 3 points behind everybody. Ridiculous.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us here tonight on the show. We will be back next week, but the next 2 episodes will be recorded because of Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
Well, it's the holiday season.
Yeah, we will be back live on January 7th.
There you go.
So, Snark, where can people find you?
You can find me. Well, you'll find me live on tape, as it was until then. You'll be here every week talking about English football until whenever they finish this year, August or whatever, and they give you that week off before the next season. Then Let's Get Ready Network after Snark won't be talking this coming weekend, but Danny and I will be back before the new year. Talk more. I think we'll talk some more Skeleton Crew because we're having fun watching that show. Just whatever else. Maybe I'll think of some things to talk about what happened during the year. Nothing much happened, at least in the United States. Anyways, I'll have to find something to talk about. So, over on our entertainment channel, you'll find that one. And then, of course, you and I do Rewatchers Council. That's our full 144 episode rewatch of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We'll be talking about a fun episode coming up in Gingerbread. But we're off. We got the holidays off. And we're at the same pace as Buffy is right now. We're going to be back second week of January. Thursday episodes
January
live.
9th. January 9th, 3 p.m. PT. We will be live to talk about Gingerbread, so that will be fun. You can find me on both those shows and also on the Skeleton Crew post-credits episodes over on the Entertainment channel. We'll have a new one of those coming up soon with the new episode dropping tonight. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the Entertainment channel over the last few days. We hit 1,000 subscribers on the channel. We're very excited about it. So thank you for helping us end the new year with a nice little milestone.
It's nice.
It is.
What's next? 10,000?
I mean, they say the first 1,000 is the hardest to get on YouTube, so we'll see.
Oh boy. All right. 10,000 it is.
All right. Thank you everyone for watching tonight, and we will see you next week.